Baking with children is a joy, but it can also sometimes be some chaos and a lot of mess. So I want to set you up for success with the right expectations and the right tools to make it be a really lovely and fun time with your children. One tip in general, if you sit down to do a baking activity with your children and everything is still in the cabinets, and everything is still, the bag of flour is still not open, and the measuring cups are still in the cupboard, that's where it might end up feeling like chaos, because your child is going to come ready. They want to go. And if you're still scrambling and getting up and getting things, that's where baking can turn from joy into maybe not so much joy. And I certainly experienced this with my own children, and I'm sure you've experienced this before. So when we approach these baking lessons, I'm going to encourage you to really do some thoughtful preparations. There are many times that I have stayed up a little bit later the night before to pre-measure some scoops of flour or to get everything out, because then when everything is a little bit more prepared, even just a little bit, when you sit down with your child, they are met with a prepared activity that they can just enjoy. I'm sure you've seen in a classroom setting, we'll have every child have their own little bowl and their own little station, so that they can just be ready to go. Because with baking, we want two things. One, we're fostering a connection with them. We're fostering a connection to the earth and our food and the family around the table, but we also want to prepare them to have these little moments of, I can do this. Like they can pour and mix and then create something delicious. We want to set them up for success so that those little micro successes teach them that they are capable, beautiful little human beings and that they can do these things. And then it continues to foster that excitement for learning and excitement for making along the way. Because if everything's always all over the place and maybe everything doesn't turn out, then they might not be as excited the next time. So I have helped set you up for success by creating recipes that are really easy to read. I've clumped them, they're color coded, so you can just add your red bowl to your orange bowl and you have two options in most of these recipes. You have a one big family bowl, one full-size recipe that is a lot of times with one or two children or even just a family, it's nice to just have them scoop into one bowl. But if you have multiple children or if you're in a classroom setting, I really encourage you to use those child-sized portions, and those are portions that I've really kind of done the math on for you already, where it's a really nice amount for them to use on their own. So in a little bowl, a little measuring cup, it's not necessarily one serving size. So if you're doing muffins, it usually makes about 2 to 3 muffins, because the amount of flour for one muffin would be really actually tricky for them to use. It's just not enough. But that is designed so that they can have their own little station. And then what this does is if all the children are actively using their own stations, there's this beautiful thing about this balance of independence and connection. So when a bowl is being passed and everyone's waiting, of course you're working on something together. But when you're baking together and everyone has their own tools, they can be going at their own pace while still all joining in the activity equally together. So some of my favorite moments in the classroom have been when we're all stirring and we're singing and it's just so lovely, but everyone is still able to stir and pour and mix at their own pace while giving us all time to connect. So it's going to be your choice how you want to set up those baking activities, if you want it in one big family bowl or if you want to utilize your child's portions for those kind of mini stations. But regardless, take some extra time to prep, set them up for success, and you'll all have a lot more fun. Now, of course, the next section is a very exciting section and addition to our second edition, which introduces Jessica Diamond, who so lovingly and painstakingly adapted these recipes to suit all dietary needs. So if you are a gluten-free family, if you are a vegan family, if you are a family with any sort of dietary need, we have considered you and we have recipes ready for you.